Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tim McGonigal. Shannon Newth anchored our morning coverage. More schools across Montana are making the call to keep kids home for the remainder of the year. Under the governor's reopening plan, school districts have the option of reopening on May 7th. At a work session this afternoon, Great Falls school board members asked health experts about bringing over 10,000 students back into the district's buildings.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think it opens up a potential floodgate for this to spread very quickly and easily throughout our community.
According to Superintendent Tom Moore, about 5,000 parents responded to a survey on the issue, and 71% of those who did respond said they would keep their kids at home. The district website says trustees will make their decision whether to or not to reopen at a special board meeting next Monday at 5:30. Now, this afternoon, they discussed if schools could open in a way that would be efficient and safe for all involved. One issue that caused some concern includes the possibility of PPE or personal protection equipment for staff and students.
What we have right now is very minimal supplies of everything, and apparently we're not going to be getting any more. So yeah, we wouldn't have enough to even cover 1/3 of your staff and your students.
Now, here are some of the schools that have decided to stay closed for the rest of the year: Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Glasgow, and Whitefish among those latest districts to scrap plans for returning to the classroom. Also, in a joint letter to parents and staff, Montana's Catholic bishops announced that Catholic schools in Montana would continue distance learning and not return to class for the remainder of this school year. Meanwhile, the Helena School Board meets tomorrow, and reopening talks are on the agenda. Superintendent Tyler Ream says if Helena students return, it would be on Monday, May 11th. We will be sure to keep you posted on what they decide. And one of the state's longest running traditions is on hold. This week is Vigilante Week in Helena. In any other year, that would mean parade floats would start popping up in neighborhoods as high schoolers prepared for the parade on Friday. But not this year. Due to COVID-19 health concerns and following the guidelines from the state, the Vigilante Day Parade has been indefinitely postponed. It's one of the oldest parades in the nation. This year would have been the 96th time the parade ran through the streets of Helena. Last year's parade featured 83 floats and more than 1/3 of Helena area high school students participated. Well, the first phase of reopening Montana is underway. Some houses of worship opened doors yesterday, and Main Street retail businesses welcomed customers today. Governor Steve Bullock told MTN that this milestone was only possible because Montanans took COVID-19 seriously. Beginning next week, bars, restaurants, and casinos will also open up with restrictions. Gyms will remain closed until phase 2, and Bullock said the reason for their exclusion was based upon recommendations from health officials due to sweat transfer and heavy breathing. Right now, the state doesn't have a hard date for when the next phase might begin, and will base that upon data, resource availability, and input from health experts. Meanwhile, Bullock asked people to continue social distancing and wearing a face mask in higher volume places like grocery stores,
where you could actually be in pretty close contact with someone who could sneeze or cough, that it really is a good idea. It's not a requirement, it's not a mandate, but it really is a good idea to wear one of those masks, a non-medical mask, just to keep our community that much safer.
The governor's order allows local jurisdictions to set more strict requirements or delay reopening some businesses. And as Montana begins to reopen businesses, hair salons were one of the more trafficked locations. Some people set a cutoff time saying that they'd try again a different day, but those who stuck it out waited upwards of 2 hours to get their hair cut in some cases on the first day that salons were able to open back up.
Well, I'm not too comfortable, but my boys' hair are wild and I don't feel comfortable doing it myself, so we're just going to take a chance. I was going to say just forget about it, but the boys are wanting it done, so we're just going to stick it out.
And also briefly spoke to the manager of the salon, who said she was extremely busy but happy to be back to work. Well, after a $484 billion coronavirus relief package was signed into law by President Trump on Friday, the Rebound Montana is looking into how some of that money will help boost businesses in the Treasure State. MTN's Keely Van Middendorp has more on funds reallocated to the Paycheck Protection Program and how it's meant to help Montana business owners.
More help is on its way to help business owners around the nation, including here in Montana, after the Paycheck Protection Program got a big boost Friday in the form of $310 billion. But financial experts say the additional money authorized by Congress is not going to stick around long.
This money, we expect it to go very, very fast.
Banks opened to the second round of applications Monday morning, and financial experts say business owners and sole proprietors must act quickly.
They need that money, especially these smaller Main Street businesses. And so they're very concerned about getting in on it now.
Schalper says there's no minimum for those applying for PPP funds.
There are a lot of banks across our region that I know for a fact are doing under $10,000.
Money is allocated based on payroll. Schalper says the program is meant to help businesses get back on their feet.
Upon close of the loan, if you utilize all of the money within 8 weeks of closing, that can be forgivable. It has to be used for payroll expenses because it's meant to put people back to work, but that can be a forgivable loan to really help so you can use your resources towards working capital.
She says applications that didn't make the initial deadline aren't prioritized this time around.
Bankers are working so hard to make sure that every application gets through. So if your bank has your application, I'm sure that they're submitting it. But again, talk to your bank.
She says money from the first round of funding ran out in just 5 business days. And while some say large corporations cashed in initially, Schalper says time has always been key in obtaining funds for any business, no matter the size.
Then you look at the resources that some of these larger corporations have. So they were able to act very quickly and get in there.
For business owners and proprietors who don't make this round of funding, do not despair. Schalper says help is here through banks, the Small Business Administration, and economic development teams. In Great Falls, Keely Van Middendorp, MTN News.
And of course, we want to help keep you prepared. As Schalper says, that money will go quickly. Now is the time to talk to your bank about a Paycheck Protection Program application. Have your documents in order and apply as soon as possible. But remember, there are other resources available when funding runs out. We have more information on our websites. Well, the latest update from the state of Montana says as of today, we've had 449 confirmed COVID-19 cases. And earlier tonight, we learned from the Cascade City County Health Department that there has been another reported case in Cascade County. It's a male in his 50s, and the case is related to travel. That brings the total in Cascade to 15 cases. Gallatin County has seen its first death, and that brings the state death total to 15. Again, Cascade County with 15 cases. Lewis and Clark has 16 cases. Toole County with 29. 352 Montanans have recovered. 11 are currently hospitalized. Well, coronavirus closures have left many laid off and unemployed, leaving some to consider career changes. But a real concern for many considering a career is starting back at the bottom in an entry-level position, or even taking some time off to return to school. As part of our series, Rebound Montana, our team of Andy Curtis and John Riley looked at one way you can earn while you learn: apprenticeships.
There are currently more than 2,000 registered apprentices in the state of Montana. Around 70% are in construction fields like electricians and carpenters. But in recent years, the state has seen more apprenticeship programs develop in fields like healthcare, information technology, and even brewing. The Montana Department of Labor and Industry says apprenticeship is sometimes overlooked by people as a career path.
Apprentices on average that complete make about $25,000 more than Montana medium wage. Of those that complete their registered apprenticeship programs, about 9 out of 10 are still working in the state of Montana and contributing to our economy.
A desire to work and an interest in what you're doing are the primary requirements for an apprenticeship. And one of the benefits of an apprenticeship is you can learn actual on-the-job skill sets you can use further in your career. And you don't have to worry about not making rent, because once you hop into it, you get paid for your work, and that pay increases as you learn. Blackfoot River Brewing Company was the first brewer apprentice program of its kind. Former apprentice and current lead brewer Nicholas Balkin says the program was a great opportunity.
Feel more legitimized, and I feel more confident when talking to my peers about what I'm doing, and it just helps me move forward and work in a confident way and brew beers that I know are going to be a great end result.
So if you're thinking about changing careers, why not give an apprenticeship a try? Reporting in Helena, MTN News team of Andy Curtis and John Riley.
The Department of Labor and Industry says apprenticeship programs can also be a good tool for employers who are looking at filling a job but are having trouble finding people with the right training. Our Storm Tracker weather team has been tracking some breezy conditions all day long, but the wind got quite a bit stronger this evening. Brandon Michaels joins us now. Brandon, you were tracking gusts over 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, earlier this evening we had actually several places report wind gusts of 50 miles per hour, or at times even stronger than that. Let's take a look at the wind gusts across the state to start things off. Great Falls, 56 mile per hour gust. That was right around 7 p.m. 55 in Havre, 60 in Cutbank. So we saw some very strong winds, even Helena getting close to 40 miles per hour with their wind gusts. Currently, still a pretty good wind in Great Falls. 26 miles per hour out of the west, gusting to 37. 49 degrees the current temperature, so fairly mild at the very least in Great Falls. Looking at Helena, the wind not quite as bad there, but definitely still noticeable at 22 miles per hour, gusting at 22 miles per hour. The temperature, though, still nice and mild, 55 degrees in Helena right now. We're also going to take a look at the Doppler Network lightning tracker because we have had some showers moving through and quite a few thunderstorms. You see mainly off along the High Line and along the Divide. We had quite a few lightning strikes reported, some rumbles of thunder, some heavier downpours, and of course gusty winds. Looking forward, though, those showers are going to become much less of a concern, and we'll talk more about that later in the show.
All right, thanks, Brandon. While essential workers continue to do the work during the coronavirus pandemic, many people are staying home. More people staying home means more trash being produced. And as MTN's Matt Holzapfel shows us, picking up that trash is more than essential.
They may not be at the top of your list when you think of essential workers, but there's no doubt waste collection employees keep the world turning.
We're essential workers, right? So we show up to work every day to get the trash off the ground, and we're doing everything we can to say thank you to them on a daily basis.
Surprisingly, a dirty job carries with it a relatively low risk for infection.
The fortunate thing for us is that most of our employees are by themselves all day in a truck, right? Or working on a truck. So we've put in place sanitation measures and things like that to keep our employees safe.
Mike says that there isn't much you can do to make things safer for the drivers picking up your trash. They've all been given protective equipment which complies with CDC guidelines. The main thing he asks is that you bag all your trash. That makes their job easier, especially with all the extra trash coming in.
One thing we've noticed is that our residential waste has gone up, right? So as more people have been home, there's more weight in the containers and more waste in the containers. So we've done some things temporarily for a while to streamline our service, right? So that was to temporarily stop recycling, to temporarily stop taking extras.
Things will eventually get back to normal, but not before the rest of the state does.
We're going to follow the lead, basically take a national stance on this, but we will not go faster than any states.
In Great Falls, Matt Holzapfel, MTN News.
The CDC does have guidelines for disposing of waste in safe ways, and you can find more information on our website. Well, installation is underway for the newest landmark in the capital city. A closer look at the Equity Fountain when the news continues.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. An update on a story we first reported last week. 4 families who had been living at God's Love Shelter in Helena have now moved to a temporary shelter outside Elliston. Organizations from around the area work together to set up alternative housing at the YMCA's Camp Child. 5 adults and 8 children were taken up to the camp on Friday. God's Love leaders say the families are adjusting very well. The move was aimed at making it easier to maintain social distancing for the people in the shelter and reducing the risk of spreading coronavirus. Lewis and Clark County, the cities of Helena and East Helena, and the Rocky Mountain Development Council have committed funding to the program. Organizations like the Elkhorn COAD and local health providers are all offering support. Leaders say this is an example of what can be accomplished when groups work together.
We had a network started, but this has really taken it to the next level. And we want to continue to build off this model.
Camp Child can house up to 7 families. Organizations are looking for other local families experiencing homelessness to fill the remaining spots. Well, after several years of discussions and planning, a new fountain is going up this week in Helena's Hill Park. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports organizers of the Equity Fountain project say now is an appropriate time for the work to move forward.
The Equity Fountain project has experienced some stops and starts since it began 2 years ago.
We've been encountering a few of the unexpected delays one way or another.
Most recently, the COVID-19 restrictions forced a delay in installing the new fountain. But on Monday morning, organizers were finally ready to put it into place in Hill Park. The fountain, called the Sphere of Interconnectedness, will include 2 parts, a 4,500-pound millstone and a 4-foot stainless steel sphere with words like respect and equality printed on it in English and tribal languages.
Just goes back to the celebration of how connected we are and interconnected we are.
The new fountain replaces Helena's former Confederate Memorial Fountain, which was removed from Hill Park in 2017. On Monday morning, a construction crew placed the millstone on a concrete base. They then turned on the water to make sure it flowed evenly over the stone. The sphere was put into place Monday afternoon. While the coronavirus emergency means there won't be an official unveiling for now, organizers say it gives a fitting atmosphere for the installation.
The compassion that people have shown demonstrates the values that this fountain celebrates. So in many respects, this is a good start for this fountain. It's a good way to put this up now to celebrate our coming together as a people.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Well, we're tracking some lighter winds in general tomorrow, but there's still going to be some breezy spots. I'll tell you where those will be after the break.
Thanks. Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Well, we had quite a few showers move through today, and with the showers, not only some gusty winds and some rain, but some nice shots here. This is from Josh Miller up in Havre. You can see if I move out of the way, pretty nice shot of a rainbow there. So thanks, Josh, for sending that one in, a pretty vibrant rainbow. And then you might be able to make out a little farther off to the other side, faint double rainbow, actually. So a really nice shot there. Still tracking some showers here this evening. The heaviest of the rain is now pushing east of and southeast of Glasgow. We've got some rain falling probably into Daniels and Roosevelt counties right now. We've also got some showers. Unfortunately, it looks like the radar kind of just lost its picture here, but moving into Pend Oreille County all the way through Toole and Liberty counties as well. We'll see what's happening with that radar, but it doesn't look like at this point we did just lose our image. As far as future tracks, doing a pretty good job picking up what's going on here at 10 through the evening hours, though the rest of the overnight, next 2 to 3 hours here, we're going to be seeing things clear out. So kind of getting onto the tail end of these showers right now. By tomorrow morning, we're done with them. We got maybe a little bit of cloud cover to the northeast, but in general, sunny skies across the area, and we're going to keep sunshine through the day. It's going to be a pretty nice day on Tuesday, sunny from pretty much start to finish, and less wind Tuesday, at least for most of us. Still tonight, breezy, 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts across the area through the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, some strong winds in eastern Montana, but we're starting to see through the day those winds dying down to the west. So many of us are in that 10 to 20 mile per hour range, not all that windy of a day. But off to the east, things are still breezy, 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. And where we do have those stronger winds, we do have higher fire danger. So actually a fire weather watch going to be in effect for our Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all the areas shaded in tan, so easily starting and spreading wildfires in those conditions. Now, let's talk about something else that's heading our way in addition to the sunshine and a slight reduction in our winds. Some of the warmest air in a long time. In fact, some of the warmest air of the season. You can see this big ridge built in. This is almost kind of like a summer-like weather pattern for us. When this builds in, we get those nice warm temperatures and relatively clear skies, and that's exactly what we expect by Wednesday. Right now, still pretty mild. Got some 50s on the board, 55 in Jordan, 49 right now in Great Falls, 55 in Helena. Overnight lows tonight, also pretty mild. Couple spots, mainly off to the north and off to the west, falling down into the 30s, but a lot of us are actually going to be staying in the 40s overnight tonight, and high temperatures tomorrow in a very comfortable range. Some of us got up to the 70s today. I don't think we're going to see as many of those tomorrow, but 69 in Jordan, 67 in Glasgow, and also Great Falls, and close to 70 degrees in Helena. So very, very comfortable. And then again, as we said, that warmer air arrives as we head into Wednesday, and that's really going to increase our temperature. So beautiful already on Tuesday. Close to 80 degrees. In fact, I'm going 80 for the high temperature Wednesday, so that would be by far the warmest day of the year so far in Great Falls. A chance of showers and cooler on Thursday. That's as that big ridge starts to break down a little bit. Lots of sunshine Friday and Saturday. A couple more showers and storms in the forecast Sunday, and then a little bit cooler on Monday. We'll go through the 7-day for Helena as well. Again, starting off the same. Gorgeous day tomorrow. Less wind, more sunshine. Very warm Wednesday, right around 80 degrees. Chance of some rain on Thursday with a high of 70. Clearing and cooler for Friday and Saturday, but still very comfortable. A couple showers and storms on Sunday, and then we do get into a little bit cooler weather, closer to average by Monday. Tim?
Most Montanans have been staying at home and social distancing, but that's not putting a damper on the Big Sky spirits. To look at some of the best moments of the week, coming up next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's news leader.
With the phased reopening of Montana offers the potential for summer sports teams to resume practice and the possibility that games could return sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, MTN's Tom Wiley will count down our weekly social distancing game changers.
Hello folks, you caught me and Cece just going through some of the footage, editing this week's Game Changers, looking for the funnest, most creative ways that Montanans stayed connected this week. Let's take a look at our top 5 favorite of the week. There's no better time to go for a drive than quarantine. The Helena Valley Timing Association held a Cruising the Drag Night on Friday. One of several events like it across the state. They raised food and even stopped by a nursing home to spread positivity in the community. And at number 4, another big name joins the Troy Strong game of virtual catch. How about 14-year NFL veteran quarterback Drew Bledsoe? He throws a pass to young Troy Ross as the viral sensation continues to grow. At number 3, family made the 77th birthday of Anita Jensen just a little bit brighter on Friday when they planted 44 signs featuring the faces of friends and family members in her front yard overnight, making for an incredible surprise when Anita woke up and peeked outside. At number 2, Toole County has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, so iFly Big Sky held an honor flight over Shelby, circling once for each of the community members that have passed away. And at number 1, some user-submitted video, and this is awesome. Former State C golf champion Katara Ryan from Sunburst and her dad have been inventing ways to have fun and practice some chipping skills, all while maintaining their social distancing, launching these golf balls into a shrinking pyramid of cups in their living room. Thanks to Dave Ryan for sending along this video. Of course, we're always looking for videos, so you can send us any clips you might have or any fun, creative ideas you might have. Just send an email to homehighlights@krtv.com. We'll feature it either on Monday during Game Changers or sometimes on the weekend as well. Reporting from home, Tom Wiley with Cece Wiley, MTN News.
We'll be back with a final look at weather right after this.
Welcome back. Winds still howling pretty good outside. For most of us, though, it will be dying down tomorrow. The exception to that, eastern Montana with those strong winds. Some higher fire danger like you're seeing there. The good news, though, close to 80 by Wednesday.
Yeah, break out the flip-flops and all the summer
shorts
gear.
Everything, yes.
All right, that's all the time we have. Have a great night.